One of the most important decisions that any fish farmer can make is a decision about where to buy their fingerlings or juveniles and how to buy it, because this is where everything begins. One thing is certain for us: we are going to spend heavily on feeding and management, and we should not spend that much and still record poor growth and high mortality, because in many cases this is where the cases of slow growth and high mortality begins. It begins at the stage of fingerlings and juveniles. And this video will be loaded. I will be showing you everything there is to know about where you should buy your fingerlings and how you should buy your fingerlings or juvenile. I am going to be very practical with you, and after watching this video, poor or weak fingerlings or juveniles will never be the reason that you lose money or you lose profit in fish farming again. That will no longer be the issue. Never again. Believe me, you don't want to skip this video for anything in this world. Please subscribe to this channel, share this video, and hit the like button so this platform can push more valuable content like this to you. Thank you very much. The first thing you must check in assessing a good quality fingerling or juvenile is their movement and activity. And I've said this a lot of time, that fish always communicate with their farmers, and I'm going to show you how to listen to them, because they obviously don't speak in English or French or Hindu or your dialects. They speak with signs, they speak with movement, and they speak with activities. Now, this is it. Healthy juveniles are usually active and responsive in water. When you tap their container slightly or you move closer to them, they should react quickly. That's a sign that the juveniles are healthy. When you stomp your feet, I'm literally stomping my feet right now. When you stomp your feet or you clap your hands in a noiseless or calm archery, they should react quickly. Now, someone is asking me, your fish experts, do you mean if the fish are not reacting quickly, we should not buy them? You see, when there are activities in a tank, maybe feeding just took place, or there was cleaning in the tank, or some other activities, the fish may not respond or react quickly. But when the hatchery is calm, there was no operation or activity around that time, when you stomp your feet in a noiseless place, in a calm hatchery, they should react quickly. You clap your hands. When you move closer to them, when they don't expect it, you tap their container, even slightly, they should react quickly. If they don't react quickly in a calm environment, then don't buy that fingerlings. Yes, these are deep realities. Do you know why? Because weak or sick fish would normally move slowly. They will normally isolate themselves. So you don't want to buy a weak fish and you don't want to buy a sick fish. The number 2 thing you should check in assessing a good quality juvenile or fingerling is uniformity. The fish must be relatively equal in size. Listen, when you see too many different sizes, that's not a good sign. In fact, that is a clear sign that something has gone wrong in that hatchery. Yes, that is a clear sign that some things were inappropriately done in that hatchery. I'm telling you the truth. And when you stock too many different sizes together, that is a big invitation to cannibalism, where the bigger ones feed on the smaller ones. When the size of your juvenile is uniform, you are on the mark. You are on the starting point to get good growth and good profits. Now, The third thing you must check in assessing the quality of a good juvenile or a good fingerling is physical appearance. What are the things you see in the body of the fish? And I'm still going to tell you exactly what to check in the physical appearance of the fish. This is going to sharpen your observation and you'll begin to think like a pro in fish farming. Check for damaged fins. Check for wounds in the body of the fish. Check for barbels that curves backwards. Check for barbels that are damaged or mutilated. Barbels that are whitish in color. Check for colors that are not usual. And what do I mean by colors that are not usual? For instance, in a catfish juvenile, yellow discoloration is unusual. Yes, have you seen a catfish juvenile with yellow discoloration? That's not a fish you want to buy. Listen, can I say something? Even if they dash you, yes, because that's not the fish you want to bring to your farm, you can get some other fish infected. Don't buy it for anything in this world. So you want to check for damaged fins, you want to check for wounds in the body, you want to check for barbels that curve backwards, check the barbels very well. You want to check for discoloration. Sometimes discoloration can be whitish. You know, what you just check about discoloration is that what is the typical color of this fish species. Now, what is the color that is unusual in this body of this fish? You also want to check for juveniles or fingerlings that have bent bodies. Avoid them. See, a healthy juvenile will look smooth, clean, and physically balanced. Another thing you must pay close attention to in assessing a good fingerling to stock on your farm is mortality. Mortality means fish deaths. If you notice too many dead fish or weak fish, that's already a warning sign. Of course, one or two mortalities is not a big issue in fish farming, neither is it an issue in the hatchery, but you notice many dead fish or even many weak fish in the tank, run, escape, retreat back to base. High mortality at the hatchery may continue after stocking. And I don't mean that every mortality you experience after stocking began from the hatchery. No, that's not what I'm saying. Some things might have gone wrong after you purchase, and I'm still going to show you how to avoid this in this video. Now, very important, always buy juveniles from a trusted source. Are you aware that not all juveniles in the market are produced under proper management? What is behind 6 is more than 7. Are you getting what I'm saying? A reliable hatchery will always maintain healthy breeding practices. If you buy from a trusted source, you already increase the chances of getting good quality juveniles with good growth potentials. Yes! So, if you have a trusted source, hold them dearly. And if you don't have a trusted source for good quality juveniles, do well to reach out to me on my direct WhatsApp line. I will put the link in the description of this video. In this age and time, and thank God with knowledge and experience, no one should be a victim of poor quality juvenile or fingerlings. Yes, send me a message ahead if you need one, and you will never regret that decision. Now, still talking about how to buy your fish. Remember I said there is a how to buying juveniles. Even though it is a common knowledge in fish farming, it is still a very common mistake to stress fish during transportation. You want to do all you can to avoid overcrowding the fish in the container, because fish that was healthy from the hatchery can end up being weakened or even dead before you get to the farm, or even after arrival on your farm. So you see, care must be taken and every form of stress must be removed during transportation. Now, when you arrive at your farm, don't pour the fish in your pond immediately. You should allow the bowl or the container to float in the pond for some time to allow the fish to adjust to the new temperature and the new environment. What will this do for them? This will help them to reduce shock and deaths. Now, there are many farmers who do not practice this, and they end up saying that it really doesn't matter, that the fish does not die. And this is the reality. Sometimes your fish may not die, but the growth potentials may die. The fish have many growth potentials, but in many cases, some growth potentials died at the point of stocking because the fish were not allowed to adjust to the new environment. They were not allowed to adjust to the new temperature. You will see that the fish by itself may not die, but there are growth potentials that died in the fish. What am I saying? Such farmers do not know because they do not pay more and close attention. Your fish should grow faster than it's growing, but some growth potentials died at stocking simply because they do not allow the temperature to be balanced. How do you allow this? When you want to stock, don't pour the fish immediately. Don't pour the fish immediately. Allow the bowl or the container to float, and gradually, in fact, you are not the one that will pour the fish. You allow the fish to swim out by themselves. We call it acclimatization. We are allowing the two temperatures and the two environments to balance. And the reason is simple. If it does not balance, it will cause shock. This shock can kill in some cases. This shock may not kill them in some cases. But in the cases where the shock does not kill, it will reduce the growth potential of the fish. Finally, talking about how to buy your fish juveniles, I want to say this. If you are buying from a hatchery or a source from the first time, you should visit the hatchery. Or better still, send someone who is capable that can visit on your behalf. The person may be living close to that location, but you need to visit or send someone who can visit on your behalf. And why is this? Why is it necessary? If you visit the farm yourself, you can assess the condition under which the fish is being produced. Because remember I said, not all juvenile are being produced under healthy conditions and under proper management. Yes, if you visit by yourself, you can also assess by yourself all those physical signs and qualities I mentioned. You can assess the health status by yourself. You want to check for all those mortalities and all of those things by yourself. Another thing is that it builds trust between you and the person you are buying from. You begin to build a relationship with that person. You can also get to ask questions about the fish. Questions like, what is the size of feed they are taking right now? Questions like, what is the pedigree of this fish? Questions like, how old are they? Meanwhile, these questions can be asked and answered online, and it is done every day. But I believe that this is another level when it is done offline. You also get to negotiate better offline. Online negotiations are done every day and it works. But I personally believe that when negotiations are done offline, there is a tendency that the negotiation can be in your favor. Let me quickly add, since in recent times we have had questions about whether it is appropriate or ideal to buy from agents or not. There are agents that source from hatcheries or that serve as intermediaries and sell to people. Is it okay to buy from them, or should you buy only from hatcheries? Now, the issue is necessarily not about whether it is a hatchery or it is an agent. The most important thing to consider is healthy practices, good quality, character, and integrity. Now, the issue with some agents is that you will see an agent purchase juvenile from this source. All of them are about 5 to 6 centimeters. Purchase from another source, all of this is about 4 to 5 centimeters. Purchase from another source is about 6 centimeters to 7.5 centimeters. But because he has an order of 100,000 juveniles, he packs all of those sources together and sell to one person. That is a very wrong approach to selling juveniles, because they are all from the same sources. They will not do the same way, and this will give the farmer problem. They are all of different sizes. It will cause cannibalism. There will be issues of growth potentials. There will be issues of fish coming from different sources. Some may have health challenges, some may not. The growth rates will differ, and there are a whole lot of issues associated with this. So agents is not an issue. You can actually buy from agents. Size variations, character, lack of integrity, and lack of healthy practices is the issue here. All right, I believe you get my point here. And honestly, if you take all of these things into consideration, you will never have issue with good quality juveniles or fingerlings again. But if you are buying for the first time, make sure you visit that farm or archery, or send someone there physically. If it's someone that is a trusted source that you've been dealing with, then you necessarily do not have to go, because you guys have been dealing. You already know how you relate with each other. Having good quality juveniles is where good fish farming begins. When you buy good quality juveniles, you have already increased your chances of getting good growths, reduced mortalities, and what? Higher profits. Then the other thing you will now need to focus on is how to manage your water and feed well. Now, I wrote a book on feeding errors that many fish farmers commit, even when they don't know. If you understand all these 5 errors in this book, you will begin to have very high profits in your fish farming business. I will put the link to that book in the description of this video, and trust me, you will never regret buying it. If this video makes sense to you, kindly leave a comment and tell us what stood out for you. Please hit the like button and follow this page if you want more valuable videos like this. Thank you very much.